a very good evening. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to present the new initiatives that we have introduced in the now concluding academic year, 2024-25. So before I go to do that, I thought I will begin by sharing a few words about the thinking behind introducing those initiatives in the last academic year. To do this, I'd like to compare the way many of us have been schooled, adults, and the way the children that are now in school are being schooled and will be schooled in the future. So I'd like you to tread this path with me for a while. So most of us here that are gathered today have done our schooling in the late 90s or probably in the early 2000s. But the children that are growing up today are being schooled in a completely different age, an age that is marked by tremendously fast-paced progress in practically every aspect of life. So in this age, change is not merely a constant, but an ideal that is chased by every individual all over the world. So I ask all of you for a moment to compare your own careers with the careers that your children will have in the future, just for the sake of an experiment, a thought experiment. Just think about it. So success to many of us may mean achievement in a specific profession or a few personal goals. And competition is one of the drivers of this success. So as humans, we have always competed with peers as well as with strangers. So if you can try to remember, many of us are in a quiet competition with our friends, our peers, our neighbors, our families, our relatives, cousins, siblings, or maybe a business in the next street. But today, with various forms of media that bring stories from around the world to us, competition is not limited to a few neighbors and peers that we know, but rather, competition is spread across the entire world. Everybody seems to be in a competition with everyone else, even if we don't see it. So with competition in overdrive, students today will become adults and seek success not in a narrow field, but in a wide range of fields, professional or otherwise. In fact, they may not settle for a single profession for their careers, as many of us do today. They will be engineers before lunch and designers after lunch. And they will be social workers in the evening and filmmakers on weekends. They will be bankers during the day and volunteers in the evening. They will be entrepreneurs up to their 40s and sports coaches after their 40s. So these are the kind of professional lives that many of our children might lead in their adulthood. And this is exactly what the academic credit system that's introduced by the Government of India today postulates to do in the future. Again, for many of us here today, our most valuable educational credentials would probably be a college degree or a school certificate. But when students who are in class 3 or 4 or 5 who are in those classes today, it is not an exaggeration to say that when they become 18 and start pursuing higher education, they will not be aspiring for a college degree, but will probably be aspiring for academic credits. So if you imagine the life of your children at the age of 18 in college, they will be attending a few courses in engineering for a few weeks. Then they will go on to pursue a few courses in literature for a few weeks. Then they will pursue a few weeks of courses in design, and so on and so forth. This way, they will be accumulating academic credits to build what would be a holistic educational profile. This is very much a possibility for children who are now in classes 3, 4, and 5. So this is the kind of world that we at Vidhya Vishwalaya want to prepare our students for. As you know, all of our students take part in all of our activities. All the students attend music classes, all the students attend the robotics workshop, all the students take part in arts classes, everybody is to perform here today on this theater festival, and so on and so forth. All activities involve all the students here. We believe that specialization that we are all accustomed to is a 20th century fad. And holistic development of a human being is the eternal ideal. And we are very serious about this here at Vidhya Vishwalaya, and I hope it shows in the way the students are growing up here. So, to grow up into this kind of a world requires young learners to cultivate certain specific skills and attitudes that we may not find common in our own lifetimes. So, some experts call these skills 21st century skills. So what exactly are these 21st century skills is a matter of debate, and it's a constantly evolving matter, but there are certain skills that are generally widely accepted. So I will name a few here. Computational thinking, problem solving, critical thinking, global citizenship and collaboration, empathy, socio-emotional well-being. So these are terms that many of you may have heard of, but soon enough, even if you have not, you will start hearing them very often in the future. So these are the skills that the initiatives that we had started in the last academic year are aimed to foster in our children. So I will get to the initiatives themselves. So what have we done in the last year in enabling these skills that have come to be called 21st century skills? So first, in the month of August 2024, we introduced a robotics and STEM program, as many of you know, for classes 4 and above. The main goal of the program has been to build a foundation in computational thinking. It is generally believed that computational thinking is a basis for learning computer languages. That is true, but it's not merely that. Computational thinking is also the basis for problem solving in any field, which is now a very critical skill in all fields of employment. Going forward, the robotics and STEM program, we aim to integrate it further into the curriculum. Along with the robotics and STEM program, we also introduced pottery lessons for students of class 4 and above on weekends, which students have begun to learn the basics of. Learning an art form contributes to building a student's personality and also offers a creative outlet for students to meaningfully spend their leisure time. Especially in pottery, the calm focus is therapeutic and contributes to their emotional well-being as well. So as you know, music is already an art form that we are teaching students. And going forward, we also plan to introduce new instruments for students of class 6 and above. So the third one is something that I'm personally very proud of. So one of the major 21st century skills that is often spoken about is interdisciplinarity. So to foster interdisciplinary practice here at the school, in the month of February, we initiated a project through our social science club called Yuva Vriksha. So the goal of the project was to prepare students to carry out a survey in the local region to give them some exposure to social science practice, because it's quite common to see science being practiced in a lab and so on, but it's not very common to see the social sciences being practiced. So we wanted to give students some exposure on this. So to this end, an orientation was arranged and was facilitated by Assistant Professor Anita Pradhan from Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science. So Professor Anita, along with 3 of her master's students, facilitated an orientation session for students of grade 5 and above. So the session informed students on the best practices for preparing for a survey, conducting a survey, and concluding a survey. So following this orientation, nutrition was chosen as the theme for the survey to be carried out. So our science and social science faculties, Ms. Shobika and Mr. Gautam, introduced students to important nutrition benchmarks and also government initiatives that exist to improve nutrition in our region. So after all these orientation programs, students of grade 5 and above collectively prepared a questionnaire to carry out the survey, and then went to the field in the Devanur-Pudur Panchayat and carried out the survey in 75 households. Then, with the facilitation of the computer science faculty, Ms. Janani, students sorted the data collected and presented the insights in the form of an infographic in Google Sheets. So many of you visited the annual expo last month, so you may remember seeing the infographics that were presented by grade 6 students, which was based on the data that they collected from the Devanur Pudur Panchayat on the theme of nutrition. So what we saw happen through this project, this month-long project, was 3 sciences came together: natural sciences, social sciences, and computer science. So this is a great example of fostering interdisciplinary practice, and we are particularly proud of this exercise that we did this year. And we hope to be doing more such activities in the future, and certainly continuing what we started this year. Further, in April 2024, a new club was inaugurated, Vignan, the Science Club of Vidhya Vishwalaya. The mandate of the club is to coordinate science projects on campus and conduct the annual expo that you are all familiar with every year, and also to plan exposure visits for students outside the campus in national institutes of eminence such as Indian Institute of Technology and ISRO and so on. And we will see some of these visits come to life in the upcoming academic year. So further, we inaugurated our new library, as some of you might know. The 1,500 square foot space has a capacity of over 3,000 books and magazines. The Utopian Club will begin all its literary activities from the next academic year in this space, and students will benefit from the use of these activities. And as many of you know, our first batch of grade 10 students have taken their board exams following a period of rigorous preparation. We are confident that the results will speak for themselves, and we also hope that the rigorous preparation that the grade 10 students have gone through, that they will carry this experience for the rest of their life whenever they are aiming to achieve big in whatever pursuits that they choose to take. Quite recently, as many of you know, all students from grade 3 onwards take Olympiad examinations every year. So along with this, we have recently collaborated with Educational Initiatives, an organization that works closely with NCERT, to introduce the CARES and ASSET examinations. These examinations will roll out in the upcoming academic year. So the way that these are aimed to be conducted is the EI CARES examination will act as an external test integrated with our formative assessments. So as you know, all students go through formative assessments on campus. So along with the internal formative assessment, the EI CARES will act as an external formative assessment for deeper analysis and feedback for our teachers as well as students and parents as well. Apart from CARES, an EI ASSET test will also be conducted at the end of the academic year as a summative assessment, again, in combination with the internal summative assessment that is conducted at the campus. This will act as an external summative assessment, again, for deeper feedback and analysis. So these are some of the new initiatives that we have started in the academic year 2024-25. And the fruit of all this, we hope, will show in the coming years. And we are thrilled to start a new academic year in the next month and initiate similar initiatives with a lot of deep thinking and anchoring that will make a meaningful difference to the lives of our students. Thank you very much. I hope all of you will have a wonderful evening today. Thank you.